This is the ESRMiniVes sedimentation rate. There are a large number of instruments out there that will read the sediment, the ESR, for you. Happens to be the one we have. The first thing we're going to do is a sensor check. So it should say on here, select function. We're going to push the down arrow key 3 times until it says sensor test. We're going to take these little tubes that simply have a dark piece of plastic in the middle and insert them into each of the spots. This is one of those overwhelmingly difficult things here. Then we're going to push run. And it takes forever when you're waiting for it. When you walk away, it's done instantly. What it's going to say here is okay, as long as all of the sensors are working properly. And if they're not, it's going to say KO. I'm not sure what creative mind came up with that. Meanwhile, while it's doing that, we can fill our tube. The first thing we're going to do is label our tube on this little area with the patient's name. You don't want to write down here because this is where the instrument's going to be reading, and you don't want the marker to interfere. And if you notice, it says sensor test okay, which means we're good to run. That should be done once a day. We then would run controls on this, and commercial controls are available. But we're just going to do a patient for demo today. We take a EDTA tube, properly filled. As with any hematology testing, we're going to mix it before we run it. Using a simple transfer pipette, we're going to fill this to this line right here. It doesn't have to have a quantitative amount, you just fill it to the line. Inside of this tube is already some sodium citrate. You can supposedly actually draw directly from the patient's arm, although we have a lot of trouble with these losing their vacuum and not filling properly, so frequently we just do it this way. You're going to put the cap back on and you're going to mix it. Then we're going to push the down arrow key. It'll go back to select function, and we'll push the down key 1 time, and it should say Westergren 1 hour. And somebody figured out that if we put this in a beveled tube and we set it at an angle, we can read it in 20 minutes. So we get a 1 hour Westergren sed rate in 20 minutes. Now they don't just read it at 20 minutes and multiply by 3. That's not a legitimate way to read it. All you do is stick it into one of the holes and press run. And then we'll come back in 20 minutes and we'll read the results. Stop.